here with a look at inside the new issue of Fortune, which states that humans are underrated. We could argue that, but I get the point of the article. I like it a lot. I guess, first of all, give us the thesis here.
Well, the thesis is basically, we've always been so afraid of computers taking our jobs, robots taking our jobs, and the consensus is starting to be that the large-scale takeover of thinking tasks by computers may have run its course. And if you look at the jobs and the industries that are going to thrive in the next 5-10 years, the skills that will do well and that will be needed are the things that precisely make us human, the things that only humans can do. Things like empathy, consensus building, leading, managing diverse workforces, cultural sensitivity, all these things, if you look at the sectors that are growing, healthcare, hospitality, education, business services. So this bodes well for us.
I think you said us as looking at me, because, sorry, I looked at that list.
Mika. It is about you.
I look at that list. I mean, it just seems like it bodes well for women.
It does. It does. Absolutely. All these skills. And I mean, these are not stereotypes.
No,
it's not stereotypes to say that women leaders are better at consensus building and are better at reading emotional cues and all that stuff.
But they are.
Listen, we've seen this in business. Look at the way Mary Barra led GM after she took over in a horrendous time, came right out and apologized. Look at, Christine Lagarde has said things would have been different if there was a man in the room during the financial crisis. And even look last week when Google reported earnings first quarter from Ruth Porat, the new CFO, and she said everything Wall Street has been waiting to hear. We're going to share more, we're going to open up, et cetera, et cetera. So these skills do happen to be better suited to women. Not that men don't have them.
Anybody disagree or want to take it somewhere else?
The research shows that groups consisting entirely of women are more effective than groups that include even one man?
Yes, we do say that.
Oh, come on.
When you have one person, and there's also another analogy in the story, when you even have one employee who doesn't kind of get with the program, it can contaminate the rest of the workplace. And that holds true in little meetings as well, in smaller groups as well.
Is this a gag segment?
Valfriend.
Is this some sort of gag?
I'm sending my daughter money because we also multitask. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, is this a gag segment or is this a legit segment?
It is legit. No, but Fortune. What are you talking about?
What fields would be?
How good is The View when Joe is on? How good is it?
How good is The View
when Joe is on The View? How good is it? It's fantastic.
It's great. But by the way, this kind of
I proved my point. I rest my case.
But no, that makes a good point. This kind of stuff robots can't do. Come on, robots can't have this conversation. The things you guys do every day.
We've had them on here before.
They can't fight with my daughter.
What fields would be most impacted?
What fields are going to do well? Well, it's interesting. So the fields that are going to benefit from this are education, healthcare, hospitality, any kind of leadership role. But, medical diagnoses. We say in the story that a robot can't give a medical diagnosis. There is something to bedside manner. Or judges. I mean, there are things that need human skills. But the interesting thing, I think, is what this brings up for Silicon Valley, where kind of famously, many of the people that do the best out there kind of lack this sort of emotional or intuitive sort of cue reading. So what does this mean for things like STEM? Well, the answer is yes, STEM and science and engineering is going to be important, but it's not just about being an engineer. It's about being an engineer who can also collaborate and be friendly and be human.
Well, that was the genius of Apple in some ways, right? Inventing a phone inventing technology that people want to use.
Right, exactly.
If you lose that.
But as technology, as the proficiency of technology increases, is it that those fields that have been most impacted by robotic progress will be even more so impacted?
They'll continue to be impacted, but if you look at where the growth is coming, it's from other things. I mean, for a really long time, the computers doing our work focused, especially early on replicating labor. I mean, Henry Ford used to say, every time I want a pair of hands, there's a brain attached. He didn't want the brain, but now the brains matter.
Well, wait a minute. I am sending my daughter money right now, and there is not someone doing it for me. It is being done through the computer. No, I'm serious. That used to happen. You used to go to the bank. What?
You're partnering with the computer.
I am, and it's being very
But that's true, and we've actually underestimated. No, but you're right. We've underestimated. I mean, we used to say, oh, a computer will never be able to translate languages, but now when you have a call in Skype in real time in another language, it will translate it for you. So we have underestimated that in the past. But the point is, in the future, the things that make us human are going to be much more in demand, and there is no cause to worry.
I get the female thing. Because
yes, that too.
The mechanics of it can be done by a computer or a man. But the part that takes, the other parts of the brain, feeling, sympathy,
we do that well.
Collaboration. It's too easy.